All right. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Hello, Zach.
How's it going, buddy?
It is going pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm just trying to figure out why this EV Mukes keeps giving me a second last name. You know, I I take it off every time, and it likes calling me Zach Clayton and Adrian Clayton. I guess it just wants people to know our last names. So that's going pretty good. Kind of a little bit refreshed. Been a little bit busy doing the recap and everything, but. Just found out that O'Neill Sadaka has passed away.
I heard about that like 10 minutes ago myself.
Well, well, I just kind of got caught up after I was recording Monday's show, so looked at my phone and there it was. But so um,
I know that a lot of people are kind of frustrated about it because a lot of big names, we've lost a lot of big names already this year. But we lose big names every single year, but yet every year it seems to hit harder and harder.
Jeremy, I think a lot of it has to do with when we were younger, the people who had passed away, we just didn't know about. They weren't our generation, but now as we're getting older, we have ties to a lot of these people. We remember when Jesse Jackson ran for president. We remember when he was trying to be the next Martin Luther King. I mean, those were when I was younger, and he was out there. But yeah, he was. We remember those days. We remember a lot of these people. Obviously, Neil Sedaka was never the kind of guy that I listened to, but I mean, the musicians I've listened to my entire life, they're getting up there in their 60s, you know,
Yeah,
and
I know.
that's just scary.
And it was actually a conversation that I had with somebody recently. Um, as we get up there in age, people start dying, and
Yep.
it sucks.
Yep.
It
Yep.
it really does. I remember how hard it hit when Michael Jackson died. It really hit last year when Hulk Hogan died. These are people I grew up with.
Yeah. Yeah. See, with me, you have people like, I mean, and it's been almost a decade now, but Peter Steele from Typo Negative, when he passed away, he was still a young guy. I mean, he he was roughly my age, and watching people, and that's what's scary, Jeremy, is you're watching people, who are close to my age, and even some of them that are a little bit younger passing away, and I'm like going, whoa, wait, no, it kind of makes you really look at your mortality.
Yeah, I know. Catherine O'Hara,
Yeah,
we
yep.
lost her. Eric Dane, Robert Duvall.
Yo, that one, yeah. And it's actually kind of funny. For some reason, whenever I take and I start remembering movies, I always mix up Robert Duvall with Richard Dreyfuss for some reason.
Huh.
There's no reason to, but you got Jaws and Godfather, and you shouldn't mix up those two actors, but I do every once in a while. So
You shouldn't, but they were similar in some ways.
yeah,
Um, Brad Arnold from Three Doors Down.
yep,
It hadn't even been a year since he announced that he had cancer. And then most recently, Robert Carradine,
yep,
uh,
yep.
the ultimate nerd of all nerds.
Yeah, there's a lot of these people who They
You
announced
know,
they
it,
they
it,
they announce that they're sick one day and then they're gone 2 days later, and that's just
I know,
weird.
I know. Another one was that James, uh, he's from Dawson's Creek. James Verdick. Let's see. Um, James Vanderbeek.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah, he had, I think it was pancreatic cancer. But yeah, we losing all these stars already, and it's not even March yet.
yeah. Well, and I mean, the truth is that you got to remember that every time somebody dies, that somebody's, you know, that person's important to someone. So, and and you're right. We're getting to that age where we're going to be losing more people every day, and that's a scary time. When you start thinking about it, it's a pretty damn scary time.
Well, I remember seeing it. It was either a movie or a TV show. I can't remember which one it was, but it was older guys. They were getting together for the first time in years, and the one guy is saying, "Hey, how's so and so? Oh, he died a couple years ago. Okay, well, how's this guy doing? He died a couple years ago." So he looks to his friend who's standing right next to him. It's like, have you noticed that all of our friends have been dying lately? And it's kind of a comedic moment, but at the same time, it is very real life that we all go through.
Yeah.
And I wish for the life of me I could remember what show that was, but I cannot.
Oh God, I forgot that the no, that's 2025. I just tried to look it up, and uh, the Huxtable boy from the Crosby Show. I forgot he died. Malcolm Jamal Warner. I
Oh,
forgot he
yeah,
passed last year.
yeah. He was almost a year ago. Yeah, because I remember he died before Hulk Hogan did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Um, the guy that created Dilbert, the comic strip, he died this year. So yeah, we're losing a lot of people already, but it's just a fact of life. Uh,
yeah, and somebody just lost her or his daughter. Who was that?
oh, Martin Short's daughter,
That's right. That's right. I feel terrible for him.
he was only 42.
So
Yeah, she was only 42 years old.
you know,
Yeah,
so
that was just within the past week.
right, the son from Sanford and Son,
Yep. Uh, yeah, he was funny.
Demond Wilson, Demond Wilson. Yeah. So yeah, it is. It's really amazing that, and like I said, I think a lot of that does have to do with I mean, we're kind of getting to that age that more and more people that we've seen, we've grown up with, they're the ones passing away. Unfortunately, we have a lot of our friends and family that we start to lose, and it all starts to hit home a little bit more. But
It does. I have been out of school for, we graduated class of 99, and I would say 10 of my classmates are already gone, maybe more. I remember one died like not even 5 years after we graduated. And it's just really incredible.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I think, I really do think, Jeremy, that that just proves kind of what we were saying, you know, all of last week, that we really need to respect people because we don't know when they're going to be gone. You
Right.
know, we we don't know when the last conversation we're going to have somebody is, when it's going to happen.
Hmm.
And how many how many times in the past has somebody said something about, something to someone, and then something happens, that person passes away, and they're stuck for the rest of their life thinking, oh my god, the last thing I said to this person was this. And you know we don't have to do that to ourselves. I mean, we can just try to make sure that we end every conversation in a good way, and try to respect people.
Yeah, we try to. Sometimes it's not always the easiest thing, because we run into all different kinds of people.
Yeah.
So, well, speaking of all different kinds of people, we were honoring um, a very large group of people just this past Sunday.
Yeah.
Um, the fourth year running of what is now called Mission for Healthy Heroes.
Right.
The old name didn't go over so well for YouTube, as we found out the hard way.
Yeah. Yeah. They definitely didn't like that name too much.
No, but once we repealed, appealed, um, somebody got in, looked at it. Okay, yeah, we made a mistake.
Well, I'll tell you this. One of the things that's been really funny is going back through and trying to, put descriptions on these segments and everything. You know, you Google a couple times has asked me, "Hey, are you feeling okay? Are you okay? Is this how you're really feeling? Do we need to, I mean, it flashed across the screen, the numbers for mental health assistance and everything, and it's like, you know it it makes me feel good, Jeremy, because I know that we're talking about this stuff, and that's important. That's really important that we're talking about this. But it's also kind of nice to know that, Google is actually, as much as Google's a pain in the ass sometimes, it is nice to know that it's out there, it's at least throwing those suggestions out.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Right now, I am actually going through the different pages and adding up the different views.
Yeah.
They have gone up a little bit.
Have they?
Yes, they have. I'm sitting right at 1,300 now. So, and right now I'm only going to through the Facebook pages. Uh, yeah, we're at over 1,300 views just from three different pages. I haven't even looked at the YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitch. I have not looked at those. But the fact that we're already sitting at 1,300 views.
Yeah. That's Look, I'm just going to say it. All right, I'm going to say thank you to everyone who you know you stood up, you showed up, and that means a lot. We we put a lot into, you know, trying to find a way to create a great show, but our great show doesn't mean anything if you don't show up. So,
Exactly.
seeing that we've got that many names that joined us, that many people who joined us, that's a wonderful thing. And I would like to say, you know what, next year when we do this, there's room. If some of you all need to talk, there's room to tell your story. You know, um, a lot of times we let some of these interviews go a little bit longer than they were supposed to, because, well, we just don't have any other person to come in and take that area. But you can always join these conversations. This isn't a closed off event. This is here for everyone to take and participate in, because look, it's an important it's an important story that we're trying to get across. These are important things that we're trying to do. And it's a simplistic thing we're trying to do. We're just trying to get it to where we can open up and we can talk to each other. And we can make sure that, we don't leave things that need to be said unsaid.
Right. And there were several people that day that got a lot off their chest.
Yeah.
I know it was a very defining moment with Jan
Yep.
when we had that segment with me, Jan, Adrian, and Lynn.
Hmm.
And then right from the get go, you had that one with Scott.
Scott. Yep. Yep.
Um, then I was fortunate enough to be able to stay awake to help you close out the.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Yeah. And then, I mean, right after Scott, well, not right after, but shortly after Scott, we had Willow and a group you know, from across the pond, who came on and, talks about how Richard at points had been homeless, and how Wayne had suffered with some of the things that he suffered with. It's it's look, their suffering's not a good thing. Their suffering is not a good thing. But they're coming out and telling us about that suffering is a wonderful thing, because there are people out there right now who need to hear that.
yeah.
We need to make sure that they understand that there is hope, that, Richard found his way out of homelessness. Wayne found his way out of, out of some of the depression he's going through. Scott has found, um, Scott is still looking for things, and maybe people can help us find solutions for Scott before next year's show. It's our duty as people, as a community, to continue to look and see what we can do to help people like Scott.
Yeah, and I'm really glad to be a part of this because I've always liked being able to help people, and this here is another direction to go in order to do that.
Yeah.
Uh, and yeah, people may think that all we're doing is just coming on here and talking, but you know what? There might be somebody out there. You have said this numerous times. There might be somebody out there that will come across one of our channels, see what we're doing, and go, "Holy cow! I'm not alone."
Yeah.
People are going. This guy is telling the same story that I have been going through,
Yep.
um,
Yeah.
and that's
And
worth it.
yeah, and you really have to think about it. There are times in your life when you've sat there and you start going through things, and the first thing you think of is, God, I'm all alone. I don't know where to go. I don't know who to turn to.
Mhm.
And wouldn't it be nice to accidentally run into somebody who's been through something like what you've been through, not so they can tell you how to get out of it, but they can tell you what they did. And it can help you, it can guide you to possibility, and just just knowing that there's a possibility, Jeremy, is a lot of times enough to help kickstart somebody into motion and get them to where they understand that there's not, you know, this is not a brick wall, it's a plaster wall. It can be broken through, you know. So I mean, it is. It's and look, 1,300 people on Facebook. What makes that amazing, Jeremy, is we weren't on Facebook the whole time. You know,
I know just from my page alone, I know there were two segments that weren't on there. But the weird thing is, one of them I know was on there, and then all of a sudden it was gone.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I have
yeah,
no idea what happened there.
yeah. It's Facebook playing their funny little games. So you know, but I think that we've almost found. I think that we've almost found our happy place with all that, and you know, next year we're just going to continue to build, and next year we're going to continue to grow. And look, you know, yeah, this one just ended, but you know what? That means that the other one is coming right up.
Yep.
That's the thing, and you know, one of the things that I learned during the recording of my episode for Monday, the celebration of spirit, is on Sunday we have um, something called let me find it here, the Zero Discrimination Day is Sunday. That's a celebration that's coming up, and it's a day where you know it's on March 1st. It's a call to dignity, equality, and respect for all people. And I think that you know what, March 1st is a great day to begin Zero Discrimination Day, and I think it ought to run through March 1st of next year. Let's not discriminate against anybody. You know, I mean, you don't have to get along with everybody, all right, but you shouldn't discriminate against anyone. You know, it's called human right. So
Yes. I'm still going through these pages. I've added an extra 100 to the view count.
wow, that's that's fantastic, man. I keep getting chills every time that I know when you contacted me and you told me that, brother. I almost, well, didn't almost. I had a tear in my eye. I was so happy, you know. Like I said, this is something that, you know, I've never been one that I views are views. You know, we can have a million views, but if we have one person out of those million, if we have one person out of those thousand that walked away feeling a little bit better, Jeremy, we did our job. You know,
Yes.
we have one person that walked away feeling like they're not alone. We did our job. That's what we needed to do. So
Uh, Still going through them, still adding up.
that's fantastic. But yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, look, everybody, one of the things that you can do if you missed anything, and you've got another 365 days to go through and find them, okay? Uh, find these shows. Hey there, Bucks Paranoia, Paranoia, Paranormal, Paranoia. There you go. How you doing today? But one of the things that you can do is you can go to the website communitypayitforward.us and just up in the search engine, just type in upcoming events, and it'll go to the playlist. And you can go to that playlist and you can start from episode one and work your way through. You've got a whole year to do it, and you can see what we talk about. And then don't, you know, don't stop there.
I've got the website going to all of our destinations.
Yeah, see that. But yeah, don't stop there. Let's plan on you joining us next year. Plan on being seen, being heard next year.
I
Yeah, it's a
have
lot of
stopped
fun.
counting. We're pretty much at 1,500. So
Look at that. Did you hear him?
It is fun. I can take over for you at 5 if you want me to.
Okay.
And shut it down at 5.
Yeah.
Client services will have to take. He's leaving. Diego's leaving. Client services has the bottle, has the formula, has instructions.
All
We
right.
just need to get it out of the fridge.
Okay. Yeah, Jeremy. Adrian's going to take over for me at 5. I'm going to go pick up a foster kitten. So, but
well, we can end at 5. Like I said, we don't have to do like a full show.
oh hell, it doesn't. Adrian can talk a lot about this too. Like I said, the good news is that the one that the person that was going through the trouble, that Jan and Adrian they have, and myself, we have a personal relationship. She actually did end up getting up and uh, she started walking. Correct?
She's walking with no skull.
Yeah, she's
Part of it
walking.
missing.
Well, and I've actually helped an individual after a motorcycle accident. One of my very first people I tried to help out. They had to take off, and they had to take and remove a portion of his skull. Jesus, maybe I'm not awake yet, but remove a portion of his skull.
That's kind of like it.
So, and because of the brain swelling. So
Okay, Fright Night Investigators. That's not ringing a bell. So was this a long time ago? I've forgotten a lot of things here in the last 5 years. So I don't know.
yeah, I tell people all the time, I forget things, and I'd like to I'd like to say it's a because of the motorcycle accident, but I just wasn't that smart to begin with.
Well, I think it's because we're getting old, and
Yeah, we are.
both have had you and I both have had significant blows to the head.
Yeah.
So that does a lot to our memories.
Yep. Yep.
But
But
but yeah, I'm really happy about this. You've got 1,500 views, and I didn't even look at a couple of your other ones. I think that you streamed to Rumble.
no, I didn't do Rumble. I did Twitch. I did Kick.
Kick, that's the one. So I didn't even look at that one.
Yeah. Instagram. A couple segments to Instagram.
I
So
forgot about Instagram. Now the thing I don't like about Instagram is that it kicks you off at an hour.
does it? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
so we probably only had maybe 3 hours go on Instagram, but you know, whatever. 3 hours is, 3 hours is better than no hours, right? So, and
And with Instagram, you can't access the live after the fact. So there's no way to tell how many views you had on that one.
yeah. Well, I think what we need to do is we need to just take and replay them, and that's probably what I'll end up doing is just taking them, replaying them on Instagram, and going from there. But and I know that one of the things um,
Well, I'll tell you what. One of these weeks, I'll get you onto this show, and we can talk shop.
But yeah, I've discovered more about Twitter, or not Twitter, Jesus, more about TikTok and what we need to do. But apparently getting the stream code from TikTok is a little difficult.
Very difficult. I have been my things. No, not that one. My personal page. I can go live on the phone anytime I want.
Yeah,
But in order to connect it to a streaming platform like EVMux or StreamYard, it is harder than hell to get that stream code. It's like
Yep.
you got to go through an agency, and I don't get that.
Yeah. Well, the one that makes me the maddest is you've got one that I would love to be able to use more, but it doesn't do me any good because you can't do anything with video on it, and that's alignable.
Yeah, well, video is
You can't even show videos on alignable.
yeah, video is kind of what we do.
Yeah,
Video,
we gave up on StreamYard about 2 years ago now. We tried Restream and that didn't go very well, but I don't know if we're gonna. This one here is starting to have some aches and pains that are getting a little outrageous. So
yes, it has. It's been frustrating to say the least. Um, Confusing. So yeah. Um, Thank you, Michael. Buck, send me a message and we'll see what we can work out. I do got to let you know, though, I won't be doing shows for very much longer because I don't know if you know anything about what's been going on with me the last 5 years, but I've been doing a lot of surgeries, and I'm supposed to be having my next surgery sometime in April. That's what we're shooting for. So it's kind of up in the air right now.
yeah, I might be having another neck surgery coming up in around April or May myself. So
Oh, wow.
I'll come right back on. I don't care.
Well, with neck surgery, you can do that. My face is going to be all mutilated, and I don't want any pictures or videos of that floating around.
Right. So, all right, Jeremy, I got to let you go. I got to go pick up a foster kitten because, we just don't have enough animals in the house. So,
Okay.
6 dogs, a cat, bird, you know, 4 tanks
Y-
full of fish. No longer have the spider. Unfortunately, she passed, but
Really?
yeah,
When
yeah,
did that happen?
about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
But but yeah, so and now we're gonna get another kitten in here.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I'm gonna let you go, Jeremy. I want to thank you, Jeremy. I want to thank all of your Things Network followers. Look,
They came through.
you. It may not seem like you did a whole hell of a lot, but the thing is that you're proving that we're making a point here, and that point is that we can care about each other. And it doesn't matter who you voted for. It doesn't matter what religion you're from. It doesn't matter where the hell you're at in this crazy world. There are people everywhere who need us.
Yep.
And the best thing to do
We need them.
people know that you're available.
Yeah. People who need us, and we need them.
Absolutely. So, and we don't need people who are just like us. And that's the other thing that I tell people all the time, Jeremy, is I want to know people who are different than I am. I know who I am. I don't need to know me. I know me pretty well. I want to learn from someone else. I want to learn from people with differences. That's what's important to me. So, you know, let your freak flag fly, share yourselves with other, and that's right. That's right. And, you know, make sure that we take care of each other because by God, we're all we got, you know. So, but from us here at Community Pay It Forward, I want to say thank you to the Things Network family. Please come over to Community Pay It Forward on our uh, uh, channels. Check us out, see what we're doing. We're a little bit different than what you got going on here at Things, but I think that we all just want to have a little bit of fun. Yeah, we talk about more serious things, but we can have a little bit of fun with it too.
But
So
the way that I look at it is us as paranormal investigators, what we do is help people.
Yep.
And what you're doing is another way of helping people.
Yep. Yep.
So that's how I see it. It's helping people regardless of what we do.
Look, let's just cover it that, we'll find everybody and everybody can take and do their thing to help everyone.
Yeah.
So, because that's our goal, man. It's not impossible to help everyone. All we got to do is come together and do it right. So, but
Just just help enough to make a difference.
that's right.
Yeah.
So,
So
but
is
again,
Jane going to be hopping on or no? Or
yeah, I'll go and grab her. Let me go on ahead and change the name that way she doesn't think that she's coming on as me. She she might start talking like me, and that'd be scary.
yeah, probably. Probably.
Wow, I almost spelled her name with a U. That would be scary. So, all right. Well, this Adrian Clayton's out of here. I'm going to go get the real one.
Yeah,
So,
you'd never
thank you,
hear
Jeremy.
you'd never hear the end of it if you misspelled her name.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Oh, I know. So,
All right, folks. So what's going to happen now is Adrian will be hopping on, and we will talk a little bit about the segment that we have with Jan. Um, Jan had a very emotional moment because she was sharing a very tragic story um, involving her son, and it was like a release that she had on the segment. Um, and I know that some people were, let's see, yeah. So I found you here. I just gave you a follow. Um, if we're both already pretty lined up to April, I can. It will probably won't be until I'm going to guess maybe the fall before I can do anything. Uh, because I got some pretty heady stuff coming up, and it's going to be spread out over the summer. I still got to get that first actual date set, but we're shooting for April, and then it'll be June for the next one, and August for the second one, and then I got to go through the recovery period. So yeah, it's probably not going to be until October before I can get on anyway. So all right, have a good night. Hi, Adrian.
Hello.
So Zach and I were talking about the segments from Sunday. I went through several of the Facebook pages. Um, I did not get all of it. I did not get all of YouTube, and then I stopped. But we were at right about 1,500 views for the whole day, which I consider that a win.
Which is, I think, probably close to double from last year.
Yeah, so that's a big win.
Yeah, yeah. And we had so many of our people participating this year.
Yes. I didn't realize. I knew that they said they had a segment, but I didn't realize it was like first thing in the morning. But they had Lois, Wayne, and Richard
Mhm.
from their shows. Uh, Kat came in
Yeah.
after Lynn.
I was so happy to see her.
I was too. I knew that she wanted to get a hold of Zach to figure something out, but when it came to be the day before, I thought, oh, she's not going to be able to get on, and there she was.
Yeah, yeah. She actually messaged in the chat, and she reached out to Zach and talked to him herself.
Yeah, she was on for about an hour, I think.
Mhm. Yep.
And then I was able to come on and help Zach close out the event. Oh, I was fighting sleep because I had already taken my ZQL.
Uh,
And I
yeah, that was
was glad
late.
when we ended that day.
That was late. Yeah, I
Yeah.
went to bed before he did that because I'm training for a new role, and I have to be able to think.
And you guys are 2 hours behind me.
Yeah,
So so it was double late for me.
yeah. I went to bed at 9 and said, "I'm done." As soon as our segment was, well, no, I actually bailed out on Lynn's segment. I said goodnight.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was learning this new stuff is not my thing.
Yeah. Not everything is for everybody.
No, no, but if you want to advance, you're going to learn more than what you know. You can't stay in your little pigeonhole.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah. So I got to take my first call today, of course, with somebody right beside me, and it was nerve wracking. So next week should be wonderful.
Also, you're on your own.
I'm on my own.
Uh-oh.
And, you know, when you're dealing with people and their children and their daycare, that's pretty serious.
Yeah, but I would imagine in the long run it'll be rewarding.
Oh yeah, it will. It will. I just finding the information is all my problem is. We have so many centers everywhere here, UK, everywhere. We have one in Africa.
Oh wow. We definitely need some more um, presences in Africa to help them out.
Yep, yep. So, and I actually think, let's see, we had who was our friend in Africa? What was her first name?
Chantel,
Yeah, yeah.
but she doesn't live there anymore.
Right, right. But yeah, that was the only one I actually ever knew that did.
Yeah. After she had that real scary experience a couple of years ago,
Mhm.
yeah, she had to
I'm
get
just
help.
glad she was able to get out.
Well, yeah, unless things are different over there.
Yeah, I really don't know the situation over there because we only hear what people want us to hear unless we see it on social media or know someone.
That's true. That's true. So, so what I'd like to talk about, just for a little bit, we had a very eye-opening emotional moment when we had Jan on.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, I'll admit it was hard. It was hard to watch, but I knew she had to. She had to go. She had to keep going.
Hmm.
But I think, from my perspective, is she had a big release.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. Um, but you are much closer to Jan than any of us ever will be.
Hmm.
You are literally tied to her because we can see that tie on your arm.
Yeah.
Did you have a chance to talk with her since then about that day?
No, about our segment.
Yeah.
No, no. We've been talking about our friend, and we've been focused on her
Okay.
pretty much, and of course Nate, our son, that he's getting ready to go back home.
Oh, I thought he already did.
No, he's actually
No,
at.
he went to okay. He went to Stephanie's place.
He went there when the whole thing happened.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, he went there.
He's still there.
Damn. And how old is he?
He is 14.
And he had to go through that.
He's going on 18. I tell you, he is a lot of times um, smarter than we are,
Oh.
more grounded than we are.
Well, as adults, that's what we want.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's a very very intelligent young man, and
Good.
we know that our friend may not have a whole lot of time, so we've told him, hey, stick around, get all the pictures you can. That's what Jan told him. Get all the pictures you can, spend all the time you can, talk all you can, because we don't know when it's the last time. And he does.
Yeah, because when you told us what was happening, it was a very real possibility that we were going to lose her that day.
Yeah. And she said the same thing. She said, I really thought I was dying.
Yeah. And when we started the show today, Zach and I were talking about all of the celebrity deaths that had already happened this year.
Too
And
many.
yeah. Well, it's just never ended.
Yeah. But it goes to show that, as the older we get, the more we know people who are passing.
Yes.
And you add to the list every year more and more that, like last year was 4, this year, the older you get, the worse it gets.
Well, I don't remember if I don't know if you remember this, but during that first year, when I was in recovery and everything, about 6 months in, we started losing a member of our family one a month for like 6 or 7 months straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like, holy shit, what is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
Um, some funerals we were able to go to, some we weren't, and then all of a sudden it stopped finally. But holy cow,
Yeah.
losing that much family in a short amount of time is exhausting.
It is. It is. And, as much as, even if you don't see them every day, it mentally takes a toll.
Yeah.
And on some, you know, monetarily takes a toll.
Uh, Now, as far as me and Dad, that wasn't the case,
Right.
unless you want to talk gas to
Right.
go. Um, but the farthest we had to go was 2.5 hours, which is nothing.
Right.
Nothing for me because of how much I drive. Uh, but we won't get into that. Um, but yeah, it's just now that we are at the point where the people that we grew up with are dying.
Yeah. Yeah. That gets all scary.
It does.
And then when you see people younger than you.
Yeah. Well, case in point, Martin Short's daughter. She died just a few days ago. She was only 42.
Huh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, Martin Short's daughter passed away. Brad Arnold, he's only 2 years older than I am.
Right.
From Three Doors Down.
Yeah.
It's like, damn.
Yep.
And then, with me being a wrestling fan, I find out firsthand all these wrestlers that died. There are so many that I have watched that never even made it to the age of 40.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
And that makes the question why.
well, for a majority of them, it's from steroids,
Sure.
complications of steroids.
Yep.
Um, and for others, they just didn't take care of themselves.
Yeah, my trainer was actually a wrestler. And so I sent him, of course, free stuff. He said, most of us know each other, whether we're big time or we're not. Most of us know each other. I said, he's in Japan. He said, yeah, we still, most of us know each other. I said, oh, cool. So I sent him the stuff and he said, I'm going to tell you a story. He said, one of my first experiences, I was in the gym, I was working out, doing my thing and, getting ready for a match. And he said, this old man walked up to me and he said, boy, if you want to make it, I'm your go-to person to make you make it.
So when he says soul man, is he talking about Rocky Johnson?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. No, no, old man.
Old man?
Yeah, just some old man.
Oh, I thought you said soul man.
No, just some old man walked up to him. He goes, I'm the go-to guy. And he said, okay. He said, I'm talent. He said, oh, okay, yeah. And he continued his thing. And before he left, he goes, so you're not going to make it the way you look. He said, you're going to have to beef up. And I've got stuff to do it. And he said, if you're talking steroids, he said, or drugs of any kind, I want no part of it. He said, but, thanks for thinking of me. And of course, he never did do it, thankfully.
Smart.
But, that's what they are presented with day one and being told they'll never make it.
Oh, yeah, they all are.
It's sad.
But the thing is, 90% of them don't make it.
Well, he didn't make it too far. My trainer didn't. He went pretty far, but not, obviously WWE or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But, he, of course, now I'm going to say he's pushing 40 and he's in good shape. Still goes to the gym.
Oh, so he's still a youngin'.
Yeah, still goes to the gym. But he's been with our company for 7 years now and makes really good money. So that one day that he said no was his saving grace.
Yeah. Huh? Probably saved his life.
I am sure it did.
Yeah.
And, that makes us, we know our son would never do that because in Japan, if you do that, you're pretty much done.
Well, the wrestlers in Japan are really small.
They're small and they do not put up with that.
Yeah.
Like, here, if you get caught, okay, you might get a fine, you might get whatever. There, you go to jail for a very long time. It's not, you can get a parking ticket, not pay it, and be in jail for 12 years. They don't play.
Oh, that's a stream.
Oh, yeah, they don't play. You do not commit a crime in Japan, period, end of story, because you ain't seeing daylight.
Wow. Okay.
And that's why you don't see a lot of crime in Japan. They don't play.
Well, they do have the Japanese mafia over there.
I have not heard much about that.
Unless I'm thinking of China.
I want to say that's probably China.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, China. Okay.
I'll have to look that up. But yeah, nobody talks about that.
Okay.
I'm sure
I know in China, the organized crime over there is huge.
Yeah, I don't think so much Japan.
Yeah, maybe I was just mixing the two, which really can be an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Um,
I get mixed up between all the Asian countries.
yeah, but I think more so is not because of the fact that they're Asian, is because of how congested both are.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, they have even like, okay, so you have Japan, China, Vietnam. is another one that it's like, you're trying to figure out the countries and the rules between them is unreal.
Vietnam is bad and North Korea is bad.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but yeah. Um, so how do you think overall the, notwithstanding doubling the views, which that alone is fantastic. But how do you think overall the whole event went?
Oh, I think it was, at least 50% better than last year.
Yeah.
So, and it was decent last year. I really had no complaints last year. But, we're adding more things to it. I'm not going to say this is all him. I come in and do my stint. That's it. But,
But you had to live through it.
yeah, yeah. But, he works on this all year. It's not just, okay, it's done. Now, come, let's say, December, he starts panicking.
Yeah.
And, we're doing the ends. But, I think this coming year, I really tried to get him to pre-record some of it and be able to, kind of walk away a little bit. Because, and Lois, it was funny because Lois she didn't expect him to be on with her. Neither did I.
Oh.
But she was really honored that he was. I don't know why he did that. She knows how to do this on her own. She ain't no child. But
See, that's kind of the point of why we keep bringing people in, to give him that break.
yep. But he really he wanted to be there with her, and I have no idea why. They had a really good time, from what I understand. I wasn't up at that time.
Neither was I.
No, no. But like, things happen. Like Nick, he had the accident. He was not able to come on. So why don't we have things pre-recorded that we're not playing again? And that way they can be edited. They can be, whatever.
Yeah.
Now this compass that is about to be coming out is, I think that's amazing. That's about as good as we can get. The college kids are making that for us.
Okay. I know that he had like an hour and a half video playing there towards the end.
Yep.
Um, and then all of a sudden he just cuts it, and we both come on, and we close out the show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I think he had played it before earlier.
Oh yeah, yeah. This compass is going to be really good because it's going to be able to allow people to log on to the app and actually look for what they need without having to scroll through every single thing. And they need mental help, they can click that. They need immediate housing. We're going to have the actual link to what they need.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be just, call this number, whatever. It's going to be to an actual site that is for that. It's not going to be guessing, maybe this person can help you, or maybe this organization can help. We know they can.
I don't know how he would be able to fit that in there, but I would like for him to put us in there as things, because with people going through mental situations, and they think they're seeing things, they think they're hearing things,
Mm-hmm.
they don't know if it's something legitimate, or if it's something from like flashbacks of
Yeah.
war.
Yep.
We can come in, and though we may not be able to help out with housing or money or mental health, we can actually help them say, hey, you know what? This is not happening, but you can go into this direction and
Right.
find out.
Yeah,
Find out.
I mean, we can, and a lot of times, even if it is something such as schizophrenia, or if it is maybe they've created their own poltergeist with all their negative energy and fear and whatever, we can discern between the two. And even if it is, let's say schizophrenia, let's say it's um,
We can be able to come in and say, okay, our opinion is
mhm,
go to your doctor
yep,
and ask these questions
right,
because we can definitely tell you it is not this.
right. And with that, we can always say, if they're local, we can always look locally. Okay, it's not this, so let's go to the next step. Let's go to, you're needing. No, we can't say they're needing medication because we're not the doctor, but you're
Right.
needing some
Like
advice from a
one
psychiatrist.
one case that we had, I guess almost 6 years ago now. Yeah, about 6 years ago now. We had one case where this guy he was going through hysteria.
Mhm.
Um, so we went, checked out his house. We listened to his story. More importantly, we watched him,
Right,
and it turned out that he was going through severe alcohol withdrawals
right.
because he had just a couple of months prior quit cold turkey drinking
Hmm.
after drinking like a fish for 30 years,
Right.
and his body was reacting very bad.
Hmm.
So we were able to tell him, okay, these are not the issues that you're having. These likely are.
Hmm.
Um, and we
Which
never
now
heard.
they have medication for.
Right. So that's one area in which that we can help out.
Right, right. In my case, my ongoing case right now, it is still ongoing because he hasn't went back to a psychiatrist. And until he does, I'm not closing it out and I'm not making a determination. I'm just not going to do it.
The one that had the snow.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm not going to determine, I'm not going to do anything until he went to that psychiatrist again.
6 months at least, I think.
It has.
More than that. Wow.
Yeah. And I still get texts, I still get calls, I still say the same thing.
Well, eventually, hopefully, he'll get the message.
Mm. Unfortunately, when we do take a case, a lot of times we are tied to them for a very long time.
Yeah. Well, we actually had to cut off some clients because no matter what we told them was never good enough.
Yeah, yeah,
Come back, come back, come back. It's a 3 hour drive one way.
yeah.
You can only go so many times and tell them the same thing so many different ways.
Yep,
But if they're not going to accept anything, okay, well, we have to step away.
that's it. That's all we can do. But yeah, I will talk to him about putting that on there. Um, and we'll figure out how to do it where the closest chapter is going to be.
Mm, yeah, that's going to be the
It
difficult.
won't be hard. It won't be hard because we're doing it by states, we're doing it by locations. It won't be hard.
Oh, okay, because everything goes to one website.
Right, right. But when you
All on
click
one
it,
website.
you also can click your state.
Okay.
Yeah, these guys are really good and they're earning their I don't know. I guess for like an attorney, it would be um, their
The money.
a free service, and that's what these guys are doing. They're learning as they're doing it.
So basically pro bono work.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Can't turn that away.
No, and we are so thankful that we got accepted for this program.
Good. Yeah,
They
that's
did the app already, and they did an amazing job.
very good. Hopefully be able to keep it that way.
Oh yeah, yeah. And they even had help with their like with this compass. They've they've had help with their like counselors and different people to tell them, hey, you know, we could do this, we could do that. They have really done their homework.
So these are college kids that are putting this thing together. What happens when they graduate?
It'll still be out there. It won't make any difference. It'll still be out there.
But the maintenance on the website.
We have Z World Webs.
Okay.
Yep, Mr. Z is amazing.
Yeah, I saw his clientele.
Mhm.
He got some pretty big names in there.
And he is just the sweetest. He really is. He meets with Zach twice a week, and he's just the sweetest.
The one I want to meet with is Jason McNamara. Uh,
And what does he do?
he is the no more 9 to 5 guy.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because I definitely want to look into that.
Get on the page, click it.
Yeah, I definitely want to look into
All
that.
you got to do is click it and set up a meeting with them. I love these people. I walk in on their meetings and their like little get-togethers and whatever,
Yeah.
and I look at it and I hear what they do, but I don't know their names except for Z because he is just always right there. Lynn and Z are the only ones I really know.
Well, Santa.
Yeah, I've only gotten to talk to him once.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is all Zach. I mean, this is all his production. I'm usually gone upstairs working.
I briefly talked to Santa right before we did our segment.
He's amazing too. He
Yeah.
is.
So,
I love them all.
so I think everyone can agree. Mission for Healthy Heroes 2026 went over very well.
It did.
Um, I would definitely like to see trying to hit 10,000 views next year. And I think with the right marketing and promotion, we can get that.
I think we can too.
Yeah, we can get that. And maybe we can maybe even bring in some more help, like get Ed on board
Yeah. Yeah.
because he promotes the shit out of everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
We have a good group. We really do. It's just a matter of them understanding what we're actually doing.
yeah, yeah. So okay, Adrian, I think this is a good time to put a nice little bow on the show, put a cap on it. Next week, I don't really have anything going on next week on Friday. I wasn't going to do this tonight, but then I thought, eh, Zach might want to talk a little bit about the aftermath, and so I messaged him, and he got right back with me. Yeah, I can do it. Okay, we got a show tonight then.
Yeah, he sent me a message said I'm gonna be on the 13th. I said, okay, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
And then I got the confirmation, hey, the bottle fed baby, nobody else is taking them. Come get them. Okay. Because I can't volunteer anymore. on Fridays. So the
Be-
only thing I can do at this point is foster.
because of the new job.
Yeah. So it's like 50-50. You know, when you get a bottle fed baby that their eyes aren't even open yet, and they've
Yeah.
been out in the elements, so you got 50-50 chance you're going to save them. That's what he's bringing home.
Okay. So this is a brand new kitten, just
Yeah.
born.
Yeah. So here we go.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah. What's even scarier is if something happens to a foster animal, you have to put them in the freezer until you can get them to back to the Humane Society the next morning so they can figure out exactly what happened. We have a freezer outside for that with nothing in it, but that's what it's for.
Okay, because I was thinking about that freezer that you got right next to the
No, this is out in the shed.
Okay.
Yeah, that won't be happening.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Okay, if I got to put them in freezer, the only freezer I got has got food in it.
Nope. Mm-mm. Nope. When I signed that waiver and saw that, the one outside got plugged in.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, good. So, all right. Well, Adrian, thank you so much for hopping on.
Of course.
Of course, Zach as well, and for those out in the audience, thank you for playing along with us. So we will go ahead and call it a night. I'll figure something out for next week. But I do know that in 2 weeks I will have Nick on, and we're going to be talking about the Knights Templar and the incident that inspired the Friday the 13th um, superstition and the fear of the number 13. That should be an interesting show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because after doing the thing with St. Valentine's, it's like, no, I want to kind of dig into these true origins of certain things.
Yeah.
Though I know that this one here is a little more known than St. Valentine, but I still like to talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right, Adrian. Thank you so much for hopping on and sharing things from your perspective. Um, but you definitely get a first-hand account of the amount of hard work that Zach puts into these. I know he puts in a lot of hard work, basically because I in somewhat of the same scenario in a way.
Yep.
Yeah, in which I started a new thing this morning. I just opened up a book review channel on YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Phenomenal Reads.
Okay.
Yeah. I already recorded my first video and introduction. I need to edit it down from 10 minutes to about 2.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's
There, there's a lot of false starts and that's not good enough. Try it again. Nah, that's not good enough.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for hopping on. And everybody stay tuned for next Thursday with me, Adrian, and Nick as we all get on the show on time. It'll be the last time, but we'll be on time.
One more week after that.
Oh, I thought it was this week and next week.
Nope. 2 weeks.
2 more weeks.
Yep.
Okay, I thought you meant 2 weeks total.
Nope. This coming week and then the next week after that.
Okay, so 2 more weeks after this, we'll be live on time. Awesome, awesome. So that means we need a. Oh wow! If we do it enough, maybe Nick will get into routine.
Maybe.
Maybe. Well, I can only hope.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much, everybody out there in the audience. Be safe this weekend, and we will see you all next week. Have a good night and a good weekend.